Is the mic on mute?
Mic is on.
Okay.
We are live.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Cool Hand Luke coming through in the clutch.
Yeah.
Sun 3-point game.
Yep.
Let's go.
Welcome back, guys. This is DDP, joined by Enyi Nduka. This is Mavs Fastbreak. A little bit different this week. We don't have the camera set up. We've been filming some stuff, and so we're working a little on the fly. And as a result, we're just going to go kind of pure podcast form here. But the game's still on, so it kind of doubles for the last 6 minutes or so of the game as like a game companion. So make of it what you will. You like it? Cool. We'll commentate on the game a little bit as it goes and also talk about some of the recent Mavs news.
Yeah, so if you hear us react to what's going on, I don't know if we're ahead or we're most likely behind. So it'll be fun to hear us kind of react to what's going on in the game. I just kind of did a lap around Darreck's house after Luka just hit that three to bring us within three. That step back Jack, Luka three, hitting in the clutch. Courtney Lee getting some run. Justin Jackson getting some run. Trey Burke needs to get a little bit more run, in my opinion. But it's still fun game. Hopefully we can come out with the dub. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. With another trade coming through at the deadline. Well, not the deadline, the day before.
Right before the deadline,
before the deadline. And we have a lot of stuff to look forward to in this summer, which we haven't really been in that position in the last 3 years. So, yeah. Stuff to look forward to. It's going to be fun.
So, for the context of that, obviously everyone knows it by now, the Harrison Barnes trade. The Mavericks deal him out in the middle of their game the other night. Who were they playing at the time again? Do you recall? It was Charlotte, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Middle of the Charlotte game. He's dealt to the Sacramento Kings for Justin Jackson and Zach Randolph. Randolph hadn't even been activated this year. He's nothing but an expiring contract. In fact, Dallas, I think, already has bought him out, no less. So there's nothing there. That's just to clear cap space. They open up $30 million in cap space. A lot of people got really upset because, you see Harrison Barnes dealt in the middle of a game, and then he's just kind of awkwardly sitting there on the bench. He's doing it for his teammates, which shows a lot for his character, just being there and supporting his guys. But you definitely get some shots of his face where he just looks kind of out of it a little bit saddened and everything. I feel for him. I understand. But at the same time, I don't think this is the malicious thing that a lot of people kind of are making it out to be. Nice defense from the Dallas there.
By the way, if something big happens, please don't mention it in the comments.
Oh yeah, you guys are slightly ahead of us as far as the game stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Harrison and his agent and everyone knew. Nice save. Oh! Timmy
Hardaway, baby, coming through. Razzling, dazzling, making a play.
Hey, that was Monte Ellis.
Nope.
Jump ball.
Woo!
That's a perfect call.
We're not going to win that one, though.
Yeah. Anyway, so Barnes' agent and Barnes knew he was going to be dealt likely either that night or certainly by the deadline. It was already pretty much figured out. And he still wanted to play. So I don't fault Dallas in this case for, because Dallas didn't leak the news that he was traded.
Nope.
And Dallas is looking at it as like, dude, we need to clear $30 million in cap space.
Let's go. We won the tip.
We cannot afford to let this deal go through, not go through.
Yeah.
And so, if they're telling you in the middle of a game, hey, yeah, we'll do the deal, by no means are you going to be like, you know what, we're going to finish out this game. We're going to finish out this game and go from there. No, if you got the offer now, if they're like, yep, we'll take it, we'll do it, you do it.
You make the play.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely it was to clear the cap space. So, and that was a tough contract with the player option.
That was pretty weak.
Yeah, it's super weak. With the player option that he has for $25 million, that would have been a tough contract to move. So you had to have done that deal. And people are talking about this stuff happens in baseball all the time. Granted, I know this isn't baseball, but Harrison knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been in talks. They've been.
It's been
Harrison
talks for like a month.
Harrison has been linked to Sacramento for a long time. So this stuff, he knew there was a chance. He probably didn't know it might have happened in game, but he knew there was a chance that he would have been traded. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Whatever, it's not a good look. Fox Sports had him. I don't think he didn't look sad. He looked like he was in his thoughts, like he was trying to gather his affairs in his head. Like, okay, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked like he was thinking about it while watching the game.
And I get people saying like, that they like Harrison and they wanted him around, and Dallas should have offered him like, hey, just don't take the player option and then just stay with us on a lesser deal. Yeah. First of all, the player's never going to do that because he'll never get that much for a season again.
Unless he's made money, a player's not going to do that.
No, it's not going to happen at that point. So Harrison wasn't going to do that. It's money that he's like, dude, you committed this money to me, and for him, I think he's been nothing but a soldier for us.
Yeah.
And even though it doesn't work out and he didn't really develop into exactly what we hoped he would be.
Timmy. Wow, what is that? That's flagrant. He's out of there. Get him out of there. That should be a tech.
It's still one of those things as well where it's like, all right, I love him as a player, as a person, I should say. The model citizen and everything you would want as far as a professional athlete for your city, for your franchise. Fouled him out at least, so pretty much you got what you wanted.
Yep. He has 5 fouls too.
Yep. So yeah, you love everything.
And we
have
a freaking good free throw shooter. Oh, frick! It
just kind of moved the window over a little bit with Luka, and then of course the Kristaps trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it is what it is. Good luck to Barnes. He'll go now to a team. It's a 97-96 Portland with tie game. All 97s.
Woo! 3 minutes left to go in the game, essentially.
Yep, 3:10 left, tied at 97. But, yeah, so with that, he goes now to the Kings. He'll get a chance to be in the thick of a playoff race. And that's better for him.
Yeah.
And they've said that they want to keep him beyond this year. They not just talking about next year either. They want to keep him for the foreseeable future.
Pull up on him. Jesus. Do it again. Do it again. We need your ignorance. I'm sorry. Hey, sometimes
are you working on a new character?
No. Go get him. Yeah, let's go, Luke. That's and one. Call that, Ralph.
That should have been an and one.
Golly. I'm sorry if I'm loud, guys.
99-97 Dallas. Luka with 25, 9, and 6. He's come on late.
Sorry. Let me know if I'm too loud on the mic. Oh, foul on the ground.
It'd be funny if they gave that continuation.
I would have been so angry.
What up, Eric? What up, Kent?
Oh,
Ben Sturm, what's good? Young Onyx.
Bro, call. Sorry for yelling.
Yeah, the mic's right by you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, let him know, Luka. Damn it.
Yeah. He's like, first the All-Star snub, and now this.
No, what more do you want? He missed. He's gonna miss. I spoke it. Damn it. He ain't gonna
But yeah, so
this is a good. Wait, we're still talking about Harrison Barnes?
I was just finishing up on that, saying they want to keep him for years, so it works out well for him in that regard too, because they are a young team on the rise. You called that out a couple of years ago to keep an eye on them.
Yeah,
I said it only because I got Buddy here.
No, yeah, I was definitely looking forward to what they had going. If they would have never traded, if Bulls never traded for Lauri Markkanen with the 7th pick, I was hoping that.
Luka off the pick and roll. Floater. Oop. Oh! Powell misses.
Hey, run back, bro. Stop complaining.
All right, under 2 to play. Still tied at 99.
But anyway, yeah. Sorry, it's a little hard to do this and watch the game, especially.
Brandon Romero says we should do this more often. Wishes he could listen to us more during games. Yeah, we can try and work these in. I mean, we did a live commentary back in Mexico a month or so ago, but that was an interesting experiment as well.
What's going on? Because of
he
was out of bounds.
Let's go. Luka versus Trey too. All right, Luka pick and roll. Gets under the basket. Okay.
No.
Minute and a half left. Still tied at 99.
All right. Hold on. What's going on?
Bucket.
Let's go. Give that man the ball. Hashtag get that man the ball. Let's go.
That's what's up.
Anyways.
Luka's taking over now.
It's Luka time. But,
it's Luka-licious.
Get off that. Wait, is that on Zach Collins too?
Yeah.
Yes. Get him out of there.
Fouls out their second center now.
Get him out of there. And one, son.
It's an awkward camera angle.
That is. We're like looking at his nostrils.
At least he wasn't like.
And make a free throw, bro.
At least it wasn't quite groin oriented. Yeah, if he didn't miss 2 free throws earlier, we're in real pretty position now. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. But okay, so.
What's this trade leaves us with?
102.99, minute 27 left. What does this trade leave us with? I like Justin Jackson a lot as a prospect. I think he's got a lot of ability for a good role player for them. I saw someone call him the anti Harrison Barnes.
Get off that man! Hey, what's Collins still doing in the game? He should be out. I guess that foul wasn't on him.
I guess not. I thought it was.
All right, whatever.
All right, things are getting a bit of a scuffle. A little bit rambunctious.
We'll still beat them. Watch.
Listening to y'all makes me feel like I'm watching a game with my friends, but I'm sick right now, so they don't want to be near me. Fair enough, Brendan.
Hey, that's a foul, ref.
Yeah, Dwight Powell was hugging Luka. Maxey, don't run him over.
I know, right?
All right, crossover.
Whoa. Damn it.
That's
rebound. Give that man the ball.
All right, Dallas secures the board. Luka's bringing it up. Under
Luka
a minute
time,
to play.
baby. Clutch time.
Hit
Luka
a dagger.
time.
Hit him with the dagger.
Yup.
Hit him with the step back trick.
He's finna do it. He's finna do it.
He's gonna do it. No three yet. Backs it out.
He's trying to give him time.
Flow
game, son. What are you doing? What was that?
You just gave him a fast break.
I know. It's all right. It's all right. Maxey with the defense.
Usually Luka doesn't miss floaters. Oh boy.
And that was
all right, 1 point game. 34 seconds left. They got the 2 for 1 though.
Mm-hmm.
That's big for Portland.
I think that's what it was going for. But yeah, that's a tough run. That's a tough runner right there.
All right. Here we go. Luka bringing it up again. 102, 101, 24 seconds to play.
All right, Rodney Hood guarding him.
Crossing the ball through his legs. Rodney Hood guarding him.
8,
7 on the shot clock. Luka
6.
back. All right, got a D up. Shit. Here it comes. All right.
No! Give it up! Give it a count!
Dallas,
let's go! Game! Game, baby! Woo!
And for those of you who missed that call, that was
good freaking win, guys. Good win. You see that, Kristaps?
Yeah.
You see that? That's a win. Y'all didn't do that in freaking New York.
Take the extension.
Yeah. Just go ahead and sign it right now, damn it.
All right.
You know you can't.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a little chaotic for a mid part of the stream.
Bro, that should have been a foul.
Nah. Interesting. That was
That's a dub, y'all.
Yeah, that's a good win. Hey,
they're fourth in the West.
Fourth in the West, yeah. That's a very good win. Especially, you've got 2 wins now against not bad teams.
Yeah, against playoff teams with essentially Luka.
Backups. Luka plus
bench.
The backups for the most part, yeah. Wow, they did not call a foul. Yeah, that was surprising. If you're in Portland, that's a foul.
Mm-hmm. They're probably pissed.
All right. So this should be one of those games that sets away the notion of team tank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you don't win another game this year, you've already won enough games. You're probably not going to get the top 5 pick. But all right, so Dallas pulls this one out, 102-101. Good win.
Yeah.
Back to what we were talking about now.
What were we talking about?
We were switching gears into somewhat free agency talk, I believe.
All right. So with the trading of Harrison Barnes, we did open up a substantial amount of cap.
$30 million.
Yeah. Now, I know there's a contingent of Mavs fans who look at cap space and, you know, old feelings come creeping back up about past heartbreaks, past, you know, getting guys and then them reneging on their deals, getting our hopes up for all-star point guards, and then they choose to stay on terrible teams. other than coming on our good team. But here's the deal. And I've said, me and Darreck have said this before, and other people are echoing this too, this concept. We're in a position that we've never been in terms of we have cap space, and at the same time, and this is something that we've learned from our past heartbreaks, we have cap space, but on top of that, we have 2 young studs that can also attract those players. Players are not, especially nowadays, these top-notch players, they're not looking at cap space and like, oh, yeah, I can come on this team and I have cap space and we can go sign whoever. They're looking at who am I going to be playing with, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're doing backdoor deals like, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade did going to Miami, they're not going to teams by themselves if they're looking to win. So that's definitely a big plus, having guys like Kristaps and having guys like Luka. Now, what the Mavs need to do, and I know there's just people saying that we need a tank so we can get a draft pick, and that's not necessarily what we should do. What we should do is we should showcase. We might not make the playoffs, but we need to make ourselves look like we are a destination that, if one player comes here, he doesn't need to have another player to come with him, but they can come into this team and we can start winning immediately.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. For the rest of the year, it's showcase time. We need to try to win as many games as we can. If we can make it to the playoffs, that will be cherry on top of a pretty sweet deal that we did. But that's very unlikely. This is a freaking great play.
Yeah, that was his play of the game.
Yeah. So that's what we need to do. Luka needs to show out. Tim Hardaway needs to show out. Maxey and the rest of the crew needs to show out so that players know, like, this team actually has something when Kristaps comes back, and that Luka can also, continue to develop, maybe make his freaking free throws, and then
he's only 72% this year. That's definitely something he needs to improve on.
So we're playing with house money. Now on top of that too, this is something that we never had before too. If we do indeed miss out on these top free agents.
Oh, hey, salute to whoever's watching us on Twitch. Oh, nice. It went away.
Yeah.
Well, they lost their shot out.
Exactly. If we lose out on these top free agents that, we're used to losing out on, we're not left with nothing. We still have Kristaps coming back. So we're pretty much going to the summer playing with house money. So, good times are in store for Dallas Mavericks. Even though we're probably not going to make the playoffs, we're definitely going to be – what was that? What was that? Yeah. We're definitely going to be looking at, some big moves coming. We might not get big fish, but we're probably going to get some pretty good pieces that can translate to us actually going to the playoffs next year.
Should we talk a little bit about some of these potential big fish?
Yeah. I actually have it pulled up on Hoops Hype.
Okay, so the Hoops Hype rankings for the top 10, I believe, free agents
they have year. Like the best list. The best. So lists.
Obviously number one on the list, and we're just going to go through the list, and we'll tell you if we think they're viable.
And of course, it's Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, number one. What was it? The Westgate Las Vegas Superbook yeah. Put out recent betting odds where, for some reason, they have the Mavericks as the fourth most likely to land Kevin Durant.
Yeah, odds are 10-1.
10-1. That's tied with Brooklyn. Then above them, of course, you have the Knicks, the Warriors. Warriors most likely to keep them.
You think so?
That's just the odds.
Oh, okay.
And then who would be another one for him? I forget who the other was.
New York.
I guess
Brooklyn was tied with Dallas.
Brooklyn was tied with Dallas, yeah. So basically, New York, Golden State, or Dallas is what they're saying. The state of New York. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're looking at for that. Would Durant help this team? Yeah, he makes him an instant title contender, especially if KP comes back and looks anything like he should be. That's huge. It is. Mm-hmm. But you and I are very skeptical about the addition of Kevin Durant. We feel like you might get a title with him, maybe even two, which, at the end of the day, that's what matters. But you're selling your soul to do it.
Yeah.
Because with Kevin Durant, there's not there's not loyalty there, and there's a lot of distractions, and he's very adversarial against media in general. And I think it's something he just tries to do to put a chip on his shoulder to keep himself motivated. But man, it makes him unpleasant.
It makes him very unpleasant. I liked him better when he was with.
And it's funner. It's more fun when you can. And it's more fun when you can watch from afar and laugh about his burner accounts than when you actually have to talk about it.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things I'm very wary of Kevin Durant. I mean, I've said it here before too. I mean, I was a big Kevin Durant fan when he was playing at Texas and coming out of Texas, playing for Seattle and eventually Oklahoma City. I was a big Kevin Durant fan. But one of the things I did not like was him moving to Golden State. It definitely was a weak move, in my opinion. And then how he's been acting since then.
And he says even the Oklahoma City thing was all an act. Like, he claims this is how he's always been.
This has always been okay.
That's what he says.
He's always been weak, thin-skinned, weak-minded.
Here's the thing. I think when he went to Golden State, in his mind, he was sick of. I mean, he said it himself when he won MVP or whatever. He said he was tired of always being second pick in the draft, second or runner-up, whatever, at MVP. I think twice already at that point. And then it got to the point where suddenly the discussion for best basketball player in the world was LeBron and Steph suddenly instead of him. Like, that's what people were saying, because Steph was the new superstar rising up, and he was doing crazy stuff. And I think that got under KD's skin, and I think he thought, okay, if I go to Golden State, I go to the super team, and I become the best player on that team, that immediately changes people's perception, because not only am I the head of the greatest team ever, arguably, that's the goal, but I win multiple titles, multiple finals, MVPs, all that. The problem is it backfired because, of course it did. You went to a 73-win team and had the audacity to say you were just trying to get them over the hump. They were already the champion the year before, so it's a ridiculous notion in that way. I have not forgotten or forgiven anything.
So definitely, I mean, his attitude and how he can probably put some stuff in Lucas and Porzingis' head.
And KP's already kind of forced his way out of one place.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, yo, these people don't owe you anything, and you got to do what's best for you no matter what. And it's like, I don't think Golden State was the best for you, but anyway. Yeah, so you definitely don't want him putting that in your guys' head. That's what
we mean by possibly selling your soul. You might get a title, but and I don't think you're ever going to see another Dirk situation where a guy sticks around for 20 years or anything like that, just because it's exceptionally rare for Dirk to have done that anyway. Like, literally no one's done it. But in this day and age, there's no way. I don't think we have Luka 20 years. I think we probably have Luka 6 to 10 years, and that's great.
Yeah, well, it depends on how
you build around him, how happy he is, but
how successful our franchise is.
Sure. But the important thing for Luka, I think, is that he would be the first building block. Whereas KD going to Golden State, he was just to throw in on top. Basically, so now the talk is if he leaves, it would be because he wants to try and save his legacy a little bit. Yeah. To go try and build something somewhere else, like a Knicks team that would be empty of anything other than cap in a big market. And try and win and lead that team.
He would get eaten alive
by that media. Yeah,
he would be eaten
alive.
He
would.
I actually would probably be pretty entertaining.
But so that's the idea with
it would probably
Durant
bring in the tears.
That's the idea with Durant there. Who was the next on the list? Kyrie was like number 3, right?
Number 3. Number 2 is Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi's
going to LA.
He's going to. He's most likely going to the Clippers. That's where I have him at, or staying at Toronto, depending on how successful they are. Don't see him coming here, but that'd be awesome if he did. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, we should definitely.
He's exactly what we would like to have, but he's not going to come here. I don't think he would come back to the state of Texas anyway.
So instead of going down the list, because we can continue to go down the list, what are some things that you think the Mavericks need with KP coming in next year? And
they need rebounding and defense from the center. KP averaged last year before he got hurt like 2.4 blocks a game. Of course, he's 7'3" and he's got a long wingspan. But he doesn't rebound well. His best year rebounding was just over 7 boards a game, I think. Hey, salute to Brennan Scala for the donation. Yeah. His best year rebounding was, I think, just over 7.
99 cents.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Brennan.
And so we had that. But they got to get someone else to rebound. That's the one aspect of DeAndre's game that they're going to miss is his rebounding.
Yeah.
His defensive effort was lacking. His offensive game was non-existent other than alley-oops.
And putbacks.
Yeah, so they'll...
Offensive rebounds.
Right, so they'll need to do something in that regard. I see someone in the comments mentioning potentially signing on Enes Kanter. That's going to give you a double-double most nights if you start him. But he's going to give up 17 points and all that. He rebounds well, and he's very good around the rim for offensive rebounds particularly.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't play defense to save his life. And if you're at a point where you can't find minutes on the Knicks team trying to tank, then I don't know, man.
Okay, so what you're looking at, or what you're saying is you want a defensive-minded, rebounding specialist type big man.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a guy who could only do that, but I would like someone who could bring that aspect because I think that's something we need.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got the two, if you've got the Wonder Boy and the Unicorn, which, man, talk about a weird nickname pairing. The Wonder Boy and the Unicorn.
Sounds like a comic book or something.
Yeah. If that's your pairing, they're both very good and all that, but they're not defensive stars or anything like that, and they need to find that.
Okay, so let's stick with that in terms of list. So let's kind of go down a list of centers.
Okay,
and of course,
I see people asking about Vucevic.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on him? I mean, here before we go into your opinion, you have a superior basketball mind than I do. But I mean, I think Vucevic would be he's definitely a good rebounder. He's good offensively. He does lack a little bit on the defense. He's not known for that. He's averaging something like 26 a game. I want to say, hold on, let me check before I start.
That was like 20 and 10.
Let me check. Hold on, I have it. All right, he's sweet number 14 on here.
Find him.
Where'd he go?
Thought he was higher than that. Thought he was in the top 10, like 9.
9?
Vucevic?
No.
Right there.
There he is, 8.
8.
Yeah, 20.6. Sorry, not 26.
Told you.
Yeah, averaging 11 rebounds a game. So I mean, we'll get
he's
some
an all-star
offense
this year, too.
And we'll get rebounding, which we desperately needed. I mean, we're seeing that now.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely can be a good addition to the team. Now, there's some other reasons why I won't want him, but I'm not going to get into that conversation. Me and Darreck went into it beforehand. But, I mean, a guy of his caliber, I'm not going to say no to that.
I think he's a little bit more of a traditional center, but he has expanded his game out. He can shoot outside a little bit, even a little bit from 3 as needed.
Yeah.
And that's really good. That would fit very well in the system. That would fit very well within the system. But, they're going to have to figure out how to work around that. And if you do add a player like that, then there are certain, I think, maybe deficiencies that also have to be considered probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're talking with Luka now in the locker room here.
It's kind of weird. He has his shirt off and
he's got like a towel or a robe around him. It looks like a towel.
Get the Larry O'Brien trophy in the back. That's pretty nuts.
Anyway. Yeah. So with him, I think he's. I don't know. I think there are some things there that you got to look at with him. A little bit slower pace, kind of back to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Got to feed it into him a lot, and that's how you get effective play out of him.
Mm-hmm. Next on the list of centers that we can kind of target is DeMarcus Cousins. Now, personally, I think if we're going the route of a more offensive inclined player, that's the guy that I want to go for because he brings out, if I can find his numbers, I know it's probably a little down this year because he's probably like the 4th player in Golden State, averaging 14 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1 block per game, which is more than what DeAndre was giving us.
Yep.
But he's a guy that, he's not your traditional type big man. He can expand. He can, shoot from the 3. He can dribble. He can actually pass pretty well too. He can make a little bit. Get rebounds. Big dude. He's shorter than in KP, but he's about 40 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah,
he definitely has
6'10"?
Yeah. Yes, 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah.
280 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and with him,
he's a bruiser. Now, I mean, yes, he's coming back from the
Achilles but
injury.
He looks like he's back.
Mm-hmm. From what I'm seeing, he doesn't. I mean, he's not 100% what he used to be, but he significantly close. And I can definitely see him being on the team and being a big part of it, and him flowing really well. I mean, imagine,
he seems like the grit and attitude you want to add next to like a Porzingis on that front court.
And I don't think, I mean, he has a stigma of being like a head case.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just an intense guy. Now, there's head cases and there's intense guys.
He's clashed with a lot of coaches over the years.
Okay.
I mean, most of those were in Sacramento, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't recall ever hearing anything in New Orleans.
That's what I'm saying.
Steve Kerr, probably.
Exactly.
I think Kerr has things really under control in Golden State, though. I think not many coaches would be able to keep that locker room filled with those egos in check.
Exactly. And, I mean, we're seeing he might clash a little bit with Draymond, but you have two intense type people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he clashes with Carlisle, I mean, who hasn't clashed with Carlisle? I'm sure pretty much everyone has clashed with Carlisle. Jason Kidd clashed with Carlisle.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
The question is whether it affects the on-court product.
If we're winning at the end of the day, then...
Yeah.
Boogie
makes a lot of sense to me.
And if he can't survive here, we can always trade him and get stuff back. So I mean,
sure. Yeah, I would say...
Yikes.
Yeah. I would say for the Mavericks, probably Vucevic is the most popular big thing they go after, but you're going to have to be willing to give out pretty much a max for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that he's not going to be a cheap investment, and there's a risk because he's 29.
Mm-hmm.
So to give a max to a 29-year-old center is always a little bit more pause-inducing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Boogie's still like 28, 27?
I believe so.
A little younger. And I think Boogie probably works better in terms of what all he can do, but I don't think he has the risk. I don't think Vucevic has the kind of in the locker room, off the court risk, so to speak, that Boogie might. So it's a give and take situation there. Let's see, who's another one we got here?
Now, if we strike out on both of them, we can look at guys like I know, Marcus Gasol, no. I mean, if we're gonna go around the bigs, if we can. DeAndre at the right price makes sense for the Mavs.
To the point where he's paying you?
Stop. At the right price, 10 to 12. If he's probably not going to take that much, 15 maybe. I don't know. F it. But, I mean, he brings you...
You want me to give DeAndre $15 million if I'm Dallas?
I mean...
Nah, bro.
If he gives you rebounding... At the level that...
The problem is the effort. The rebounding is great, but if you're not, like... You have to be able and willing to put out defensive effort.
That's true.
And if you're on the court, that means someone else who would give effort is not on the court because you're there. It's not like you only check him in off the bench while the ball's coming off the rim.
Look.
Get in there. Don't trip on your warm-ups.
The caliber of rebounding that DeAndre Jordan brings does have value. We can't necessarily brush that aside. Like, we're not talking about someone who's averaging, 7 rebounds a game. We're talking about the second best rebounder in the game today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, rebounding, some people have the attitude that rebounding is a part of defense. So if he can get rebounds at the caliber he's doing, then he's good at defense. Now, yes, we did see him play. We have seen him completely look like he had concrete feet and not move, and he will stick to players like I don't know, give me like Andre Drummond instead of helping out the drive guy, but
or not even lifting a hand to contest a shot.
But
while Lillard shoots a mid-ranger in his face.
At the same time, we have seen him put forth effort. We knew it was an effort type thing.
And if we played the Clippers 82 games a year, he'd be great.
If we were a better team and we had bigger games and we had bigger stakes, like the playoffs, maybe we do see him.
That to me still would feel weird then, because it's like you sent him away and then you're saying he'll get a bigger name free agent next year, but bring him back and reward him because now he can play harder for us. It's like you send him away because he's not trying, but it's like, okay, now we got this piece. Now you're going to try for us? Cool, let's try this again.
I mean,
if I get burned like that and it comes down to effort, I don't welcome the guy back. That's just me.
True. I mean, this is saying that if you miss out on the other two
like
guys.
If you're struggling and you're just not playing great, like you're missing your shots or whatever, I can forgive that. Like if he was just getting in some foul trouble here and there, I could forgive him and be like, okay, maybe it's just he's off right now. He's whatever. It's in his head and he's not playing great. But if it comes down to effort, to me, that's like, no, that's certainly not worth the $23 million he was getting this year. I don't think it's worth, whatever you're talking about, 12 or 15. It would depend. It really would. My guess is he'll probably end up somewhere else on like a minimum next year just to try and win a title.
Either a title or I can see him back. I don't want to see him back at the Clippers.
They waive Gortat. Do you have any interest in picking him up this year?
Nope. Absolutely no.
Even with, as you're talking about us having no center right now?
I mean, we just got a center in Salah, so I don't think we even have space.
Let me rephrase that. A center who plays in games.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't have the space anymore. If we're bringing in another dude, I would prefer it to be Ray Spalding. I mean, let's be real.
Well, they'd have to go get him back, but I think he cleared waivers though.
He has cleared waivers. Yeah, it's been.
I don't know, man. I'd like to see more from Spalding, but who knows?
Okay.
Went to the
other guys we have Brook Lopez. I don't view him leaving
Milwaukee,
especially at the.
He's a player option too, I think.
He's unrestricted.
Or restricted.
He's
unrestricted.
Brook
Okay,
Lopez.
surprising. I guess I had him confused with someone else in that case.
Yeah.
We've obviously talked about Middleton as well. He's got his player option, so.
Or is he? I think he's restricted.
No, I think he's a player option.
I could be wrong. Hold on, I saw him. Let me look. Star. Player option. You're right.
There you go. Player option.
Yep, you're right. I mean, those are some of the big guys. Brook Lopez, Willie Cauley-Stein. He's restricted though, so if you're willing to overpay for him, he's a guy that you can get your rebounds. You don't necessarily need to worry about him on offense and getting him involved. Just pretty much just clean up our mess.
Yeah. I like Maxey as a off the bench guy. I just don't see him as an every night starter.
Yeah, the goal should be having a guy like Maxey come off the bench.
Yeah,
a guy that he can shoot threes, he can get rebounds, block shots. But there are better players than him, and I get it. We have a contingent of Mavs fans who are.
He's a fan favorite.
Yeah, and rightly so.
And he had tonight or today, whatever, 9 points, 4 rebounds. 26 minutes. I can't have a starting center give me 4 rebounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
probably around. You probably run him around 20 minutes a game.
And I think that role suits him well. But he's going to get his chance to make his claim the rest of this year to a bigger role next year, whether that's starting or whatever. But I mean, we'll see. The Mavericks have some decisions to make. If they were to make their trade exception, I think, were you bringing that up earlier, or was that?
Yeah. No, so another position I think the Mavs need is we need another playmaker, point guard type. Not to say that Luka is not a point guard or anything like that. Definitely Luka's our main primary ball handler, point guard, playmaker type. But with the Rick Carlisle system, and for the freaking sake of our sanity, watching the Mavs when Luka's not in the freaking game, I think it will be beneficial for us to try to use that trade exception to try to get a guy like Drew Holiday. Look, they're gonna trade Anthony Davis in the summer
off season.
Yeah. Either
there's
Boston.
There's no repairing that.
Yeah. They're freaking booing him the other night. So I mean, either gonna trade him to Boston or trade him to L.A. Whoever. At the end of the day, he's not going to be on the Pelicans, and we've heard that it was 90 or it was a high number, high 90%. Percentage, 90% of the reason why Drew Holiday signed back with the Pelicans was to play with Anthony Davis.
Right.
So essentially, if Anthony Davis is not there, 90% of the reason why he was originally on the team is gone.
He does make a lot of money, though.
How much money does he make?
Drew Holiday, they maxed him, man. He got like stupid money.
But what does he bring to the table?
Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm not doubting that he would be a good player to add to us. I'm just talking about like
we can speculate.
It's almost like he needs to be like your primary plan if you're going to go get him.
I'm talking about constructing a team that's capable of contending for a championship next year.
5-year, $131 million.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
$131,805,000 contract. How you feel about that now?
How old is he?
28.
Okay. But what can he do? What's his numbers? It's not like
average salary $26,361,000.
Average salary is how much?
$26,361,000.
What's his stats? Let's look at it.
Hold on. Let me first give the context of. So you're talking about this move for next year. Next year, $26,131,000. After that, $25 million. After that, back up to 26. Unrestricted free agent at 32.
Okay. Cowboy X Factor. We already talked about Vucevic. I mean, at the end of the day, is about what can he bring. He's a guy that's a freaking tough, hard-nosed defensive type point guard, right? Can shoot three. Like when we were all talking about what's the type of guy that we want to be backcourt mates with Luka Doncic.
Do you want that number for this season?
What?
Drew Holiday is averaging 20.9 points per game this season.
Okay.
5 rebounds, 8 assists.
Okay.
Career average 15.5.
What was his 3-point percentage this year?
Let me find that real quick. This season, his 3-point percentage is 31.8.
Not the best.
No. And his best career 3-point percentage was his rookie year at 39. Looks like he did it again in 13-14, but it's been up and down throughout his career, it looks like. Yeah, career 35.5% 3-point shooter.
He's a career 35?
Yeah.
Okay,
so same as Hardaway.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, he's a dude that can play defense. He can guard your Russell Westbrooks, your James Hardens, your
48.5% overall from the field, like 2-pointers.
Okay. But most of his career, what team was he on? He was on the 76ers, which was trash.
He was on the 76ers and then the Pelicans.
And then the Pelicans, which, I mean,
he spent 4 years in Philly, and then he's been with the Pelicans ever since.
He was probably always going to be guarded by the best perimeter defender that they had, because they ain't guarding.
I liked him. I wanted the Mavericks to look at him at the time. I mean, they wanted to, but he took the max money to stay with New Orleans.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't throw the notion out there, like you said, when they beat the Blazers last year in the playoffs. They were starting him and Rondo, and obviously we know Rondo needs the ball, so that means Drew was having to go off ball, which
he's capable of playing off ball,
which is good because I don't want to take the ball out of Luka's hands hardly at all. So maybe in that way that could be a partnership that works, but because of his salary, you're basically having to make him the thing. You know what I mean?
No, you don't necessarily have to make him the thing. Your
role, as your big move.
I mean, but if we're using 26, I don't know if we can. Do we have?
We got 30 open. 30 million open.
If we're using the trade exception, though.
If you're using the trade exception,
can someone in the
there's a clarification there.
Does it have to be
to get it up to a $20 million trade exception instead of the 12.9 it is right now? You're having to forsake some of that $30 million in cap space you have for this year. It's like if you don't use it in this offseason, then it swells, I think, to like $20 million. And then you have that as a trade exception throughout next season that you can use.
Okay.
I believe that's how it works. But, I mean, I don't know.
So what you're saying is if we trade for him at the beginning of next basketball season.
Yeah, like if you...
Our trade exception goes up to 20 mil.
I believe so.
And does it have to be a contract that's 20 mil or less? Or
that's the part I don't know about.
If anyone can find that out, probably Max, if you can find that out, I'll appreciate that because I need some clarification.
I saw him in here earlier. Oh, no, he's still there. That's because Luka's getting rebounds instead. Man still boxes out. Check the team rebounds. Dorian 2. Maxi's box outs. Allowed Dorian crashes and putbacks. Trade exception is already $21 million due to the Barnes trade.
Okay. So does the salary need to be at 21 mil and under for us to use the trade exception? Because if Drew Holiday's at 26, can we use the 21 mil and then find out use other means to make up the money, or how does that work, please? If you don't, please clarify so we're not here speaking at the side of our mouth. But I mean, in terms of constructing a championship type team, if we can use our trade exception for a guy like Drew Holiday, and then also use our 30 mil whatever to that's like 30 mil after signing KP to the max. Is that correct?
No, because you haven't signed KP yet.
Okay, so
you have 30 million because right now you're operating, I believe, on until he signs. It's just a qualifying offer.
Okay.
Right now, I believe.
It's about 8. It's about.
Yeah, you're right. Because of his.
Somewhere around 18.
He's still on his last year.
Yeah, somewhere around 18.
Because it's a weird thing how like the last year of his rookie deal is like a restricted free agent situation.
I think that's the cap hold.
Yeah. Well, regardless, there's a lot of discussion to be had here. Vucevic is the name you're hearing the most of. Mm-hmm. There's definitely perks, but there's also risk there. Mm-hmm. Other names that you're hearing a lot of. Boogie, which we've talked about. Point guard would be interesting if you were going to get a guy that doesn't need the ball.
Yep.
I'm interested there. But, yeah, there's a lot to figure out for sure.
I mean, we can find other guys who are of the same archetype. I mean, a guy like, who's the point guard for the Clippers? What's the freaking name?
What the trade exception would let us do is after we sign a big free agent, if we do, and then trade for Drew is the exception. So you could sign it and then do it. And he still wants
Dedmon would be a good addition off the bench. I'm not taking him as a starting center. Nah, son. I'm sorry. He's been in the league way too long.
I wouldn't mind having him, but
yeah. He can be a good piece off the bench, but he's been in the league too long and he still hasn't.
What if he wasn't like your quote unquote big addition though? Like if you added
No. If he's not our big addition.
Like if you're just adding him, it's not about him paying big money.
Yeah, that's. Are you saying Patrick Beverley? I know. Thank you, William Phillip. Yeah, Patrick Beverley would be a good fit. Someone who can play defense on the point guards and hit wide open threes, which he's bound to get playing with.
I have nothing nice to say, so I'm not saying it.
About Marcus Smart?
No.
Get over it, dude.
Took out Dennis's tooth.
Yeah, he got it back.
He got it back. He didn't pick it up off the floor.
Yeah, he didn't do it on purpose. But
Marcus Smart just signed. That's not even.
Yeah.
Unless you're saying Boston jettisons him to pull off the AD thing.
Yeah. But which they're not, because they're still going to be.
They owe him a lot of money. They'd have to trade him, and then I don't see him coming available. He's also a flower mound guy, so that would be interesting. Dedmon $5 million, and Max. What is he saying? K mid. Oh, Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
So you're saying Dwayne Dedmon is our starting center next year
at $5 million, and then max out Middleton. Wait, well, then where was KP playing?
KP's playing the 4.
So Middleton's our 3 in that scenario?
I
wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
Our lineup would be Luka at the 1, Hardaway at the 2, or, switch Hardaway or Chris Middleton at the 2 or the wings.
Yeah.
And Dedmon and KP are bigs.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Not bad. We can try
the thing
to do
the thing
better
is, though,
than
it's not like
Dedmon.
Right, but what I'm saying is we had this discussion earlier as we go into the wrap-up here for this edition. Like I was saying earlier before we did the show, with kind of the way the NBA is now, you have tremendous turnover in teams every year because everyone, whether it's top-tier guys or what, it's usually like shorter-term deals. You're not seeing a lot of guys take those 5-year deals anymore, 4 or 5-year deals. And so you're getting a lot of landscape shifting every year, especially in role players. And so that addition of the roster could be enough to make a solid run next year. And then it's not like you're married to that alignment necessarily. You could change it out and keep tweaking the formula, but take steps forward in the meantime. So we need rebounding for sure, and we need some front court defense. We need to start filling out 3-point shooters for Luka. Lots of 3-point shooters.
3-point shooters and at least another playmaker.
Yeah.
I don't want. I know people are super high on Luka and everything like that. I do not want him to be the only playmaker on the court. I don't want that. I need someone who is, man, we got a freaking another game tomorrow after that. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what, if I'm Dallas, I wouldn't mind picking up like a Gortat for the rest of this year. Not even saying he has to be like your main guy, but
he doesn't do anything for me. I think he averages like 4 rebounds.
Yeah. Well, they need to figure out something for it, because this is just about developing and trying to put as much together as you can the rest of this year.
Exactly.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but if they do, hey, more power to you. You're going to,
like I said,
sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, like I said, the goal is to showcase, Luka, Tim Hardaway, all of them. Show that your franchise is a stable franchise, that people want to come here and do all of that is a playmaker. I understand Chris Middleton. I don't think he's leaving Milwaukee. Like that,
Milwaukee is looking really. Milwaukee's best record in the league right now. Right?
Yeah, Milwaukee's looking real nice. Our
and
hope,
Mirotic was such a huge ad for them.
Our hope for Milwaukee is that they fall way short this year in the playoffs,
lose in like the second round. Or something.
I need this year, next year.
Yeah.
Because if we want Giannis to be thinking twice about staying in Milwaukee, is he still on his rookie deal now?
Giannis?
Yeah.
No, he's on a new deal.
Okay, good. Yeah, we definitely need him, but I don't see it. Giannis. I was telling Darreck earlier, I've never felt so helpless watching my team play against another guy. Giannis is that he's too damn long. He can literally grab a rebound and go full 94 feet in like 3 dribbles, do like a Euro step from one side from the key to the other side, and still end up dunking it. I know he can't shoot, but he doesn't need, like, he can get to like the free throw line and dunk it from there.
Yeah.
with his length. And Milwaukee's done an amazing job of constructing a team around Giannis. Mm-hmm. So he's not the only playmaker. You have an Eric Bledsoe. You have Chris Middleton. Sorry, I had a freaking fur in my mouth. You have a Chris Middleton who can play defense, who's long. Every other team felt that way against Dirk. Yeah, talk about if you watch the 2011 championship DVD, you can hear what Scott Brooks was saying to his team during the timeout when they were guarding Dirk. I can't remember
exactly what it was.
He was like, when you're guarding Dirk, he's like, man, he's just go put up his shots. He's good. He's basically just saying there's really nothing he can do about it.
Yeah.
But that game, it's a slower
48-point game.
It's a slower paced game, and hopefully with the addition too of Kristaps Porzingis, we have an element to where we can completely control the tempo of the game. If it starts to get too out of hand with fast breaks and all that stuff, we can slow the roll and just hand it to Kristaps in the post and let him do work. Which that's definitely. I mean, with everyone going to just shoot threes, we're gonna add that element to our game, and it could be really big in getting us back to the finals. But what were we talking about before?
Man, let's just talk about winning a freaking playoff series first. Haven't won a playoff series since
that
the
is true.
2011
Since
finals.
2011, we got close.
We've won, I think, 4 playoff games in total. Took the Spurs to 7 one year. Got one on the Thunder in 2016. That's the only ones I can think of. We got swept that first year by the Thunder after. We probably have 1 or 2 more wins than that, but it's been tough sledding.
So we've had, you said 4, right? So we've had the 3 against the Spurs and the 1 against the Thunder.
I feel like there might have been one more year I'm forgetting though.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we missed in 12, I think 13.
When I'm talking about champions.
We got one against the Rockets in that series with Rondo where
okay. So when I'm talking about champion, I'm not necessarily talking about next year, but I'm talking about we're making significant moves to get ourselves to within the year 2020, 2021, that we're maybe just another piece away, a la Giannis, to being in a championship.
Yeah.
And staying that way, for...
They are close, and it's exciting because after years of kind of being caught in the purgatory, it felt like. They finally have it. Like, getting superstars is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Drafting Luka was monumental. Pulling off the KP trade, now you officially become a destination. And having cap money. It's because of their age that it works.
And the pieces that we got around that trade, too, wasn't bad. I like Tim Hardaway.
Yep.
He's going to shoot them ignorant shots. And honestly, sometimes it's going to drive you crazy. But he's the type of dude that he's going to get hot, and it's going to be like he can't miss. Yeah. He's going to shoot the most ignorant shots, and them shots are going to go in. And he's going to have those times when he's like J.R. Smith. He's going to shoot the most ignorant shots, and you're going to be like, dude, what are you doing? You're going to take the bad with the good. You just want to put yourself in a situation to where you don't have to you don't have to rely on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
he had 24 points tonight or today. Hardaway, 24, 4, and 3.
Best outing in his Mavericks.
Yeah, and definitely his best game so far. He had a great effort play late where he gets his own missed 3, saves it along the sideline, and then drives in and gets the thunderous dunk. That was huge, I thought, for the game and how it just turned the momentum. But
Zoran, I think Clay's going to probably stay in Golden State. If not, go to L.A.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what everyone's linking him to.
So we'll see what that shakes out to, but that's going to do it for this edition, guys. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Sorry I got off to a little bit of a later start for some technical stuff, but
I like the Mavs playing at 2.
Yeah, but we will be back next Sunday, and we will, until then, we'll probably have something dropping Friday. I'm going to try and have another TPN video drop by then, so hang tight. Other than that, until next time, guys, remember, every legend was once a prospect.
A prospect.
There you go. Got through it without messing it up.
Hey, I'm getting better. 3 for 3, baby.